Hi, I'm Leslie Palma with Priests for Life here with a pro-life news break. During a speech at the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast in D.C. this morning, Vice President J.D. Vance said President Donald Trump has reversed Joe Biden's pro-abortion agenda. The last administration liked to throw people in jail for silently praying outside of abortion clinics. We know that they like to harass pro-life fathers of 7, very often Catholic fathers, for participating in the pro-life movement, Vance said. And we know the last administration wanted to protect taxpayer-funded abortion right up until the moment of birth. And on every single one of those issues, in 30 short days, Donald Trump has gone in the exact opposite direction. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon signed legislation last night that will place more restrictions on the state's lone abortion business located in Casper. The new law requires abortion businesses to be licensed as ambulatory surgical centers and requires abortionists to have admitting privileges at a hospital not more than 10 miles away. Abortion seller Julie Burkhart, who owns Wellspring Health Access, said she will challenge the law in court. In a statement praising Wyoming lawmakers and pro-lifers, Priests for Life National Director Frank Pavone said abortionists should not be able to evade health and safety measures that concern the health of the mother. The pro-abortion forces always oppose laws that protect the women about whom they falsely claim to give a damn. Burkhart also owns the Hope Clinic in Grant City, Illinois. Our friends at Operation Rescue often report on the alarming frequency of women being taken by ambulance to the hospital after abortions at Hope Clinic. The U.S. Supreme Court this week dismissed a case that could have determined the future of bubble zones outside abortion businesses. The decision not to hear the case, issued without explanation, leaves in place a precedent set by the 2000 case Hill versus Colorado, which found that restrictions on speech-related conduct are constitutional because they regulate the places where some speech may occur and not the speech itself. Justice Clarence Thomas issued a scathing dissent to the decision, writing, "It was clear at the time that Hill's reasoning contradicted more than a half-century of well-established First Amendment principles. A number of us have since described the decision as an absurd, defunct, erroneous, and long discredited aberration from the rest of our First Amendment jurisprudence. Hill's abortion exceptionalism," Thomas said, "turned the First Amendment upside down." Life at Conception Acts are being considered on the state and federal level. Republican Eric Burleson, who represents Missouri in the U.S. House of Representatives, submitted the Life at Conception Act in January. Now a South Carolina lawmaker has submitted the Prenatal Protection Act in that state's legislature. If passed on the federal level, which is a long shot, nearly all babies would be protected from abortion across the country. On Tuesday, pro-life Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives passed a budget framework that would allow for the defunding of Planned Parenthood. The approved budget outlines $4.5 trillion in tax cuts and $2 trillion in spending cuts over 10 years. One of the top budget items was a plan to cut $700 million the abortion business receives in taxpayer funding. The budget resolution marks a victory for President Trump and House Speaker Mike Johnson, but it faces an uncertain future in the Senate. Pro-lifers in the Iowa House are backing a bill that would require abortionists to sell chemical abortion pills to inform mothers about the abortion pill reversal process. The bill would require abortion sellers to post a clearly visible sign saying, "Recent developing research has indicated that a medication abortion utilizing an abortion-inducing drug is not always effective in ending a pregnancy. It may be possible to avoid, cease, or even to reverse the intended effects of a medication abortion that utilizes an abortion-inducing drug. Please consult with a healthcare professional immediately." Since the abortion pill reversal procedure was discovered and perfected by 2 Priests for Life medical advisors, thousands of babies have been saved. The process works by flooding a woman's body with progesterone after she ingests the first pill in a chemical abortion. The progesterone counteracts the effects of mifepristone, allowing the pregnancy to continue. A new study out of the University of Pennsylvania found that mothers undergoing chemical abortions were 5 times more likely to experience severe pain compared to those who had surgical abortions, and 9 times more likely to develop severe bleeding complications. The study was reported in the February 20th edition of the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. It surveyed 600 women, 347 of whom chose chemical abortion. The researchers concluded that women are adequately prepared for the pain and bleeding, a finding that directly contradicts a study from Great Britain that found women absolutely not anticipating the amount of pain and blood involved in a chemical abortion. In the Penn study, more than 3/4 of the mothers who had chemical abortions reported bleeding for 7 days, while nearly half of those, 46%, said the bleeding was heavy. Florida schools could be required to show students in grades 6 through 12 the Baby Olivia video that details human fetal development from the moment of fertilization. But Democrats in the Florida legislature are unhappy, with one representative from Orlando calling the video anti-abortion propaganda being snuck into education legislation. It's just sick, she said. That's some of what's making news this week, and thank you for tuning in. If you like my shirt, you can order one at prolifeproducts.org. Please keep in mind always that life is the only choice.